Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins. We're just going to look at XRP on this one. We're not going to need to look at Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin dominance essentially is trickling down, which is allowing for these top cap coins, even XRP, amongst all of this FUD, to catch a decent bounce and maybe a continuation. So we'll have a look at this. But before I go any further, I just wanted to say that I was having a chat with a member of my Patreon last night, one of the top tier guys, so I can have proper conversations with him, questions answered, all this lot. Check out the Patreon below. There's multiple tiers anyway, but if you pay for the top tier, then you do get to speak to me at any point, asking me questions and stuff, not signals by the way. But what I was saying is that, with or without what's happened recently with this delisting and the lawsuit and things like that, if someone showed me this chart, when I predicted the market cycle about a year ago, and showed me that this is what it was going to look like at this point, this time this year, I'd look at it and go, that is about right. That's kind of what I expect to see. Now I've made market cycle videos about this, and you could look at them and see that this is kind of how I predicted it. Now obviously the impact of that lawsuit has had a dramatic effect, but as far as the chart stability is concerned, it remains intact, and the market cycle also still remains intact at this point right now. Things can change, but for the moment, with all of that craziness going on, it's basically in an area where I would be very happy to agree that the market cycle is unchanged. What I mean by that is a bit of an overview. We came out of a consolidation, so we've been consolidating for 2.5 years. Rejection, stair steps down. Okay, this is an old coin, right? Which is good. It allows us to analyze it on a long-term basis. With a higher degree of success when trying to predict when it's going to come out of that and what kind of moves you're looking to expect in the future. So stair steps down into an accumulation zone, and then it doesn't look big, but it is. That was about a 70% move up. Then reaccumulation down at the 200 exponential, wavering around up and down amongst all moving averages. That's a reaccumulation, classic reaccumulation zone, and then pop, and we're up again. Now, obviously, the volatility has increased into XRP, which means that the accumulation is likely to be more volatile than the previous ones. This one was very low volatility. This one was pretty low volatility, and this one is likely to be a lot more. Now what's going to happen is we're going to see these moving averages start to converge, probably around this blue box zone, roughly speaking. It's a rough estimation. This is where we're going to reaccumulate. Now we could pop all the way back up because we are looking at an alt season, and XRP can benefit from that. So it can launch from here. There's no reason why it wouldn't, given the fact that an alt season would allow for that kind of move, especially in a coin with extreme volatility. But ideally, I would like to see a reaccumulation around this period, which would mean that these moving averages are going to get closer and closer to each other. You can see that obviously they're a massive move up and a massive move back down on lagging indicators. They're all kind of going to start to form around this zone, around about 30 cent. It could be as low as 28 cent. It could even be as high as 36 cent. So between 28 and 36, this could be our new accumulation zone. But obviously we're looking at an alt season now. So if we were to reclaim and break above this green 50 exponential, at that point all major moving averages will be beneath us, and that could allow for a big move. Now these Bollinger Bands here on the daily are pinching quite tight. The upper band is coming in around about 40 cent, roughly speaking, and obviously diminishing each day, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. The bottom band is a lot lower, all the way down at 15 cent. These are also supports and resistances. They aren't obviously as respected as a normal support or resistance because they stretch and move, as we can see here. These Bollinger Bands weren't really very well respected, were they? I mean, they were broken and they stretched the whole thing all the way up to the top. So Bollinger Bands unto themselves, especially on long-term time frames after a period of extreme volatility, aren't to be ignored, but they're also to be taken with a pinch of salt. Now if we look at some of these other indicators here, we've got an extremely nice diverging MACD there. We've got the RSI creeping up quite rapidly. We've also got the money flow index showing that volatility is creeping back into this without this worry of the delisting. There's only so much FUD that can be generated. Volatility and volume is creeping back into the coin from somewhere. Don't ask me where, but it's coming back in, and it seems to be coming back in quite well. So if alt season were to continue, which I'm pretty confident it will, there will likely be dumps along the way. We could break above this zone, and if we did break above this zone, we'll be looking to meet this area here. 45 cents shouldn't be too much of a problem. That would be where I would expect to see the next level of rejection. If we can take out 36 cents, we'd be going all the way up another 10 cents. So we'll just measure that move, what that would be if we were to reclaim and break above and close above 36 or 37. That's a 22% move. Not too bad. We see that sort of thing all the time. In fact, yesterday we've been seeing that across the board with most of the top cap altcoins. 20% isn't really a big deal anymore, and it certainly is no big deal in an alt season. But again, at the moment, this is the trading range between the 200 and the 50, and you could also call this a really rushed accumulation period. Normally what happens in an accumulation, if we go down to this one, let's just zoom in a little bit, see what happened. Oops. So we see when we broke down from, well, it's not breaking down, it's consolidating. When we consolidated from the previous high, redistribution took place, taking profit took place, and then we meandered amongst the green 50 and the 200. Green 50 above, back down to the 200. Above green 50, 200. As these get tighter and tighter and tighter, one of them has to give, and as soon as you find effectively a decent support, and it's been confirmed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then basically up and launch. So we're kind of looking for the same kind of deal on this one. So meandering from here to here, from back there to there to there to there to there, and then whoosh, all the way again. The only thing that's going to set this accumulation apart from this one is the fact that the market is in its favor. So what I mean by that is that if Bitcoin dominance is decreasing, altcoins are increasing, and it's going to be very tempting for a lot of people to pick up XRP. Given what happened to it recently, this could be considered very cheap still to be buying it at. So these are the reaccumulation zones from before, all this blue box here, and then above this red line here, and now basically we're surfing amongst our previous top. So and we're above there already. So it's a matter of playing these two resistances and waiting for one of them to give. And if this is an accumulation, a reaccumulation, I'd imagine it to be relatively rushed. And if the market continues to work in altcoins' favours, this will pump sooner than we know, back up to about 45 cents before our next rejection, which will likely be rejected from there, and it might be significant. And if we're lucky, we'll catch a bounce on the green 50. If we're unlucky, we'll catch a bounce on the 200. And obviously, if we completely fail, we'll be coming back down into the depths of hell again. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. There's method to this. Like I say, I was talking to someone from the Patreon group about it. I was saying, look, I'm no financial advisor, but what I can say is that with or without this this crazy news that's been going on, and all this FUD and the doubt that's in people's minds, it's still respecting supports and resistances. This wick came down to the bottom of the accumulation zone from back here. That's respected. This wick came down to the top of the accumulation zone, which was here. These zones here have been tested and broken above. That was our support zone from our last reaccumulation, and now we're holding above the 200 exponential and being rejected from the 50. So there's method to this madness. It's not as crazy as one might seem when you look at it. You zoom out. To me, this is what I'd expect to see from the XRP market cycle. Coming into 2021, we're going to have big fake outs. You'll have to watch my video. In fact, I'll leave a link at the end of this video to the XRP market cycle video that I made last year before we even started to go bullish. And these are the sort of things that I said are likely to happen. Big moves up, 70% retracements, very, very likely and completely normal in the behavior of XRP. So it doesn't faze me to see these sort of things. Like I say, in many ways it's reassuring, because my long-term analysis on this is still extremely relevant, and in fact more than relevant, it's unchanged. It's exactly how I'd expect to see this coin behave at this point in the market cycle. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Join my Telegram, join my Patreon, and I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.